Graph the quadratic equation f of x equals x squared plus 2x minus 4. We need to determine several values that we can then use to graph this equation. First, we want to figure out the vertex of the equation and its concavity. Does it open up or down? It will be a parabola, obviously. Determine the x and y-intercepts. So at what point does the equation cross the x-axis and what point does it cross the y-axis, if any? Examine a few values from a table to help you get a more precise graph, and then plot and connect the points from above. So first, let's start with determining the vertex and concavity. We can complete the square to turn this standard form equation into vertex form. And if we do that, we get the vertex of this parabola will be -1, -5. And since the a value ahead of the squared binomial is a positive one, this will be a concave up parabola. Then we can determine the x and y-intercepts. So a y-intercept is simple when x equals 0, y equals -4. And then for the other two intercepts, you can use the x-intercepts, you can use the vertex form equation, set it equal to 0 and solve for x, which gives you the x-intercepts, which will be -1 plus root 5 and 0, and -1 minus root 5, 0. And finally, let's plug a few points in just to give us a more precise graph and get a couple more points out of this equation to plot before we connect them to make a parabola. If we plug in 1 for x, 1 squared is 1 plus 2 times 1 is 2. That's 3 minus 4, which is -1. So 1 gives us a y value of -1. And if we plug in 2 for x, we get 4 plus 4, which is 8 minus 4 is 4, and y equals 4 at x equals 2. Now we have a handful of points or coordinates that we can plug into over here. We know this graph will look like a parabola, so we can sketch out a pretty accurate view of this parabola that corresponds to f of x equals x squared plus 2x minus 4. Just note that I took our square roots in our x-intercepts and used a calculator to give me a slightly more accurate decimal number or value for those. But let's start by plotting the vertex, -1, -5. So we go to the left 1 and then down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to be our vertex. And I remember this is concave up. It'll be opening up. Let's do some of these easy points from the table. We have a 1 and -1. We have a 2 and a 4. We also had, I forgot to plug into here, we have our y-intercept, which is 0 and -4. So that's over here, 2, 3, 4. We have a couple more points. We have 1.24 and 0, which is our x-intercept. And then we have -1, 2, 3, and a little bit, -3.24 and 0. And now I can connect these dots to see that my parabola will look something like this, with my x-intercepts, my y-intercept, my vertex, and a few other random points on the graph.